In the ancient, mist-shrouded town of Eclipsia, time was not an abstract concept, it was a living, breathing force, as tangible as the cobblestones beneath the townsfolk's feet. The town thrived under the influence of the celestial chronometer, a towering clock tower that loomed over the central square like a sentinel. Its gears, forged from starlight and tempered by the hands of generations of clockmakers, were said to be the heartbeat of the universe itself. The chronometer did not merely measure time, it was time. Its rhythmic ticking echoed through the streets, a constant reminder of the delicate balance that held the world together. The keeper of the chronometer was a woman named Seraphine Draven, a master clockmaker whose skill was unmatched. Her family had been the guardians of the chronometer for centuries, their bloodline intertwined with its mechanisms. Seraphine was a woman of quiet determination, her hands calloused from years of repairing delicate gears, her mind sharpened by the intricate puzzles of timekeeping. She lived a solitary life, her only companions the ticking of the chronometer and the occasional visit from townsfolk seeking her expertise. But one night, the unthinkable happened. A thief, known only as Vesper, slipped into Eclipsia under the cover of a moonless sky. Vesper was a legend, a phantom spoken of in hushed tones. They were said to be able to steal not just gold or jewels, but intangible things, memories, dreams, and even time itself. No one knew their face, their motives, or their true name. They were a shadow, a wisp of smoke, a fleeting thought. Vesper's target was the celestial chronometer. With uncanny precision, they dismantled a hidden panel at its base and extracted a glowing, pulsating orb, a fragment of time itself. The moment the orb was removed, the chronometer ground to a halt. Its hands froze, its gears silenced, and the town of Eclipsia fell into a strange, suspended state. The next morning, Seraphine awoke to a world out of sync. The sun hung motionless in the sky, casting an eerie, unchanging light over the town. The townsfolk moved as if trapped in syrup, their words slurred and their actions sluggish. Birds hovered mid-flight, their wings frozen in place. The river's current slowed to a crawl, and the wind ceased to blow. Time itself had been stolen, and Eclipsia was trapped in a moment that refused to pass. Seraphine rushed to the chronometer, her heart pounding as she discovered the missing fragment. She knew instantly what had happened. Vesper had struck. The thief had taken the very essence of time, and only they could restore it. Determined to save her town, Seraphine set out to find Vesper. Her search led her beyond the borders of Eclipsia, into the whispering forest, where the trees seemed to murmur secrets of the past and future. Deep within the forest, she found Vesper in a hidden glade, the stolen time fragment glowing in their hands. Vesper was not what Seraphine had expected. They were cloaked in a shifting, iridescent fabric that seemed to blend with the air around them. Their eyes were sharp and calculating, but there was a sadness in them, a weight that spoke of loss and longing. "You've doomed us all," Seraphine said, her voice trembling with anger and fear. Vesper tilted their head, a faint smile playing on their lips. "Doomed or liberated? Time is a chain, Seraphine. I only sought to break it." Seraphine hesitated, struck by the bitterness in Vesper's voice. She had always seen time as a gift, a force that brought order to chaos. But now, faced with the stillness of Eclipsia, she wondered if it could also be a prison. "Help me fix this," she pleaded. "Together, we can find a way to free the town without destroying it." Vesper studied her for a long moment before nodding. "Very well. But know this, once we begin, there's no turning back." The unlikely pair embarked on a journey into the Veil of Eternity, a realm where time flowed in unpredictable currents. The Veil was a place of paradoxes, where past, present, and future collided in a kaleidoscope of possibilities. They faced trials that tested their resolve, moments frozen in despair, loops of endless repetition, and visions of futures that could never be. As they traveled, Seraphine began to understand Vesper's motives. The thief had once been a victim of time's cruelty, losing everything they loved to its relentless march. Vesper's theft was not born of greed, but of a desperate desire to rewrite the past, to undo the pain that had shaped their life. In the heart of the Veil, they confronted the Arbiter of Time, a being of pure temporal energy. The Arbiter demanded they prove their worth, challenging them to balance the scales of past, present, and future. Seraphine's precision and Vesper's cunning proved to be the perfect combination, and together they restored the fragment to its rightful place. Time resumed its flow, but something had changed. The townsfolk of Eclipsia now moved with a newfound appreciation for each moment, their lives enriched by the fleeting nature of time. Seraphine and Vesper, once adversaries, had forged an unbreakable bond. As the celestial chronometer chimed once more, Vesper turned to Seraphine with a wistful smile. "Perhaps time isn't a chain after all. Perhaps it's a river, and we are the currents." Seraphine nodded, her heart lighter than it had been in years. "Then let's make every moment count." And so, the Clockmaker and the timeless thief became guardians of a new era, their story a testament to the power of redemption and the beauty of impermanence. Together, they ensured that Eclipsia would never again take time for granted, and that every tick of the chronometer would be a reminder of the preciousness of the present. In the years that followed, Seraphine and Vesper worked side by side, their partnership a symbol of hope and renewal. They taught the townsfolk to cherish each moment, to live fully in the present, and to embrace the ever-flowing river of time. And though the chronometer continued to tick, its rhythm was no longer a chain but a song, a melody of life, love, and the endless possibilities of the future.